Hey guys, welcome back to another reading journal video. I do apologize for the angle. I'm filming when I've got light, and in the late afternoon that tends to get a little bit wonky. But we're setting up the October cover page and a few pages in my reading journal, and we're going to do a flip through of September, and I'm going to give you guys a synopsis of my reading journal, how it's working out for me so far, and what I meant by making it work for me. So I hope you guys decide to stick around for this one. I'm happy with it. In case you guys are wondering when my cover page for October is done, it is because this was not going to be my October cover page. This was actually going to be a couple more pages for books that I was trying to get read in September, but I did not want to rush myself because I got done reading my last book, which was A Tippy Canoe in Canada 2 by Sam Campbell, on September... I didn't put a limited calendar in, I should have. On September 25th. And I didn't want to rush my next book because I don't like to rush my books. So let's do a real quick flip through of September, and I can show you guys what I mean by I finally made my reading journal my own. I mean, something real quick, because I was probably casting a shadow. So here's my cover page for September. Here's the books I finished, and as you can see, I only did 2, and that's okay. And I should put something pretty there, maybe. But here is Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, and Still Mo. And when I said I needed to make my reading journal my own, I really meant it. Like most people will do like maybe 2 pages, maybe 1 page. No. When I read, I like to put quotes in. I like to put my reflections on what it is that I've read is. And I prefer to give myself the space to have that to write down. And A Tippy Canoe in Canada 2 ended up taking 5 pages? Yeah, 5 pages. So I had thought I was going to start another book. I didn't, and it's getting on in the week, so I wanted to go ahead and get October done before I needed to actually start using it. Because the thing is, any book I start this week, because I'm filming this on the 27th of September. So I've only got like 3 days left. So I didn't want to be in a rush. Now, I absolutely could not be happier with how much easier reading is for me now and how much more fluid my reading journal is now. Because if I have a month where I'm like, I don't feel like reading, I don't have to set up a cover page and read at all. At this point, I can now just read intuitively, is I think how Hedda calls it, from over at Mochi Bujo. And if I decide I want to read a tome, like the entire trilogy of Lord of the Rings, which I have all 3 of them in a hardback cover of the books, it's big. It's big. Now, I kind of messed up a little bit when telling you guys about the Living Forest series, because the Living Forest series is actually taking place in Wisconsin, not Minnesota. But in some parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart without a sign because of all of the lakes and rivers. Now, the time that he's writing about in the Living Forest series, in those 2 books in the 12-book series, that is during the 1940s. And the world of Minnesota and the world back then was a very different place. The past is a different place. And it is not our world that we're in today by a long shot. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that page alone. So there, in A Tipi Canoe in Canada too, they talk about going on a month-long canoe trip up into Canada. You can't do that anymore, I don't think. You can't canoe from the United States into Canada anymore, I don't think. If you can, somebody let me know the name of that expedition house, because dang it, a woman is restless. Let's see. No, that is way too bright of an orange. Do I have... I don't think I have any papers that are nice and light colored. I think I want to go with... Pull these back out. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Don't get me wrong, it is coming up on fall, but fall takes on a very different look here in the desert than it does in the northern lands of Minnesota and Wisconsin and UP of Michigan. And then we're also going to set up my next 4 pages, because the next book in the series and the next book that I'm reading, that I'm actually going to be starting, is book 5 in the Living Forest series. And the name of that one is On the Wings of Cheer. If you guys hear music in the background, that is because my husband is at home and he is on a work call. Let me tell you something. Sometimes those work calls make filming for YouTube a little difficult, because he does have confidentiality agreements with all of his clients. Drink break. So I have to be doing things in the studio in order to keep his work calls, when he gets one, from showing up in videos. Chances are you can't actually hear the music in the background, but it is enough to drown him out. There we go. And then let's go ahead and set up my next 4 pages, or 6, who knows. But let's go ahead and set these guys up. Set that to the side, and there may not be anything in here that is appropriate for the next book. Uh-oh, where'd it go? think we'll work with that one. And those ferns. And you know what? Welcome to Sunrise is perfect for the topic of the next book, which I'm not gonna spoil. If you want to know books, you have to get them for yourself. Come here. Now, chickadees are a thing in the northern woods, but this particular one is not about a chickadee. So that's not the right one for this one. I need a tag. That's a piece of scrapbooking paper. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Now, with that being scrapbooking paper, I am going to use double-sided tape to make sure that that doesn't come off the page. I'm actually getting to a point where I need to make another double-sided tape order. And for those of you who live in the desert, you know exactly what it is when I talk about don't order glues or tapes in the middle of summer. Yeah. Now, I'm going to pull these bits over here to the side real quick. Oops. I'd rather not put that in upside down. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm satisfied with that page. Let's go to this one. Actually, I wonder if I can get the glue off my hands. Oh, I can. Yes. Okay, I think I just got that page set. Yee. I'm also working on reading the Little House on the Prairie series, which I really shouldn't honestly have to tell you about Little House on the Prairie, because I think everyone who was born in a particular generation has read Little House on the Prairie. So. And, oh, there we go. Mostly got it. Mostly got it. Woohoo! Yeah. And then this element here, I'm just going to go like this. sounded like a cat trying to get in the door. Okay, I think about like that. Now, part of the reason why I started my reading journal was to help me use up some of my stationery goodies, because otherwise I would probably never buy more stationery ever again, because I have a lot of it and I would end up never using most of it because it would just sit in a drawer. And while many of my pages in my reading journal are decorated much more simply than, say, like my junk journal, which is my long form journal, it definitely gets still some love here. There we go. You know what? I actually really like that. I was thinking about maybe a fern sticker, but you know what? We're going to save the fern sticker for the next page. All right, let's almost here. Hopefully you guys are all right there. Here we go. I got to get more water. Ah, there we go. All right. What is this page? Ah, that is not a red-winged blackbird, but I absolutely love this page. I am not going to try to rip it. Let me see what I can do to get just... You know what? I'm perfectly fine with that being the only decoration right there. So, well, you know, maybe a little something in the corner there. And we'll just wobble it like that. There we go. Let's do that. Many times when I'm filming, if I do something involving the stationery stuff, it's because I know he's not going to want to come into the studio to go, what you doing? I love my husband to death, but there are times where it's like, babe, I really didn't want to have to record a voiceover for this one. In we go. Like so. There we go. I like that. Now for this one. This is going to be a mess to clean up, I can tell already. Let's see. Do you want to do... No, because I like using those as my labels and... Why is the wind picking up? Welcome to fall in the high Sonoran Desert. Things happen. Let me see here. Oh, I love the bluebird pages. That's a bit more, that's a little too fantastical. But fantastical's okay. You know, my stars. You know, let's go with something a bit like that. But I think I want to do a tear. You know what? We'll use the chickadee sticker on this one. In here. We'll tuck him there. And we'll just put that little fern detail there, but I don't want that tail. You know, I think probably one of the more freeing things that I ever saw was from Mary Beth or Mary Ellen over at Planning with Bumble when she said, folks, you can cut your stickers. It's okay. It's like, oh, you know, it's one of those things like you know it on an integral level, but when you finally hear somebody say it, it just finally clicks and you're like, okay, finally, someone has said it. Here we go. And we bring that around and stick it down. And wipe the glue on my fingers, because otherwise I'm going to stick to the notebook. Ah, there we go. There we go. Right. And then we're going to put the little chickadee right there. You would think, given how popular some birds are, like red-winged blackbirds here in the United States, you would see more stickers with them. You don't, unfortunately. But... and just to give you guys a little peek of the book that I am reading, this is it. This is the one I'm starting the month with. If you want to read a book series that is all about wonderful relationships with animals, you definitely got to check these guys out. Living Forest series. Tuck this way. And that was my reading journal for October, guys. I have been very much enjoying reading a lot more because I've taken the pressure off of myself. And I feel like I might actually stick with the reading journal now. And the fun thing is if I don't have to read if I don't want to. I don't have to read if I don't want to. I don't have lofty goals about how many books I'm going to read this year, and I don't have any expectation outside of at least one. And that makes me really happy. Like this feels like I might be able to fall right back in love with reading again. So, but if I do change my mind in November about setting up November pages, you guys know I'll tell you about it. Anyways, I have to clean up my desk now because there's paper all over it. I have made a royal mess, as I usually do. Oh, thank you guys for sharing your time with me today. Hug your loved ones tight, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video, which should be a chit-chat. We'll see. Bye.